Well, I realized that I had a problem when I was spending all my money, and that's what my life was based upon from morning until night. My life at that time, it wasn't much of a life. That's all that it consisted of. Everything was bad. I didn't have anything positive in my life. I was getting in trouble. I almost died a couple times.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. It was. I didn't have much to live for, at least I thought.
I met Chandra a few years ago, actually at the municipal court here in Richland County. She had gotten into some legal trouble due to her substance use disorder, and I met with her to do her diagnostic assessment. She was at the point where she knew she wanted to change some things in her life. She had some goals that she wanted to accomplish. She was just struggling to get there and needed a little bit more support. Fast forward about a year, she ended up coming to our detox facility and then transitioning over to our residential women's treatment program at New Beginnings.
I was there for 5 days. I was scared, very scared, but when I walked in, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. A lot of people ask, how did you know? I can't answer that. I just was determined, and I wanted to have a life. It was either that or I was gonna die. When I was getting ready to transfer out of the detox, I was afraid to go home because I knew if I did, that I was probably gonna go right back out on the street and die. So one of the counselors there, I had told her, I'm a threat to myself and others, I don't wanna leave. So she, the next day, got me into New Beginnings.
Chandra ended up staying at New Beginnings for several months. She was very open and willing, and that inevitably helped her reach some of her short-term goals and then some of her long-term goals when she left, which were sustained sobriety, reuniting with family, and especially her daughter.
When I went in, I didn't tell anybody where I went. Nobody. I called my mom and I talked to my daughters as time went by. Because, I had spent so much time telling everybody that I was going to change my life, and I didn't do it. So rather than telling everybody, I was just going to show them.
When she left, she was very empowered. She knew what she wanted and that it was possible. So I saw a change in Chandra when it came to hope. I think before she came, she didn't know if it was possible. She didn't have as much hope as she did when she left. When she left, I saw a strong, empowered woman who knew that she could change her life.
I learned how to trust myself and love myself. So after that, I started at Precise June 12th. I had actually walked into Precise and meant to go to Progress, but it all worked out. I went in and I applied, and I was 100% honest on my application. My boss, Barb, brought me in, interviewed me, and I just basically told her my life story, and I didn't know what was going to come out of that, but she called me right away, and I got the job.
And any new hires, you're kind of skeptical. You're hoping you're making the right decision. Chandra started out as a part-time worker. She's now a full-time crew leader. So she's 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. Maybe it was her honesty that wanted me to take that chance, because you're putting people in other people's facilities. So you need to have that trust. That usually takes a little while to develop, but for some reason with Chandra, it was just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I just really felt good about it. Out of all of my successes over almost 40 years, she ranks at one of the top ones. She just has been through so much, and she's just been great. I'm just so proud of her.
In our society, I feel we have a long way to go still to help individuals who are suffering with substance use disorder. It is a disorder or disease, just like any other disease that we would categorize as a disease. But as a society, it can be stigmatized. So I think with examples like Chandra, we can see a human being who we live and work beside in our community every day, who we had the privilege to help. And if we look at substance use disorder from that lens instead of the stigmatized lens, we have the opportunity to not only help somebody along their path of growth, but help our community grow and be a better place to live.